I walked away from my cheating wife without a word. Years later, she faced me with my new life. The message came while she was standing 3 feet away from me. Her phone lit up on the kitchen counter, face down, but the vibration was loud enough to cut through the quiet. Once, twice, she didn't move to check it. That was the first crack. I watched her reflection in the microwave door, the way her shoulders stiffened, the way her breath paused for half a second longer than normal. She pretended to focus on stirring her coffee, but the spoon barely moved. Another vibration. I didn't ask who it was. I didn't need to. My chest didn't tighten the way movies say it should. There was no explosion of rage, just a slow, sinking cold, like realizing you've been underwater longer than you thought. She glanced at me, smiling too quickly. "Probably work," she said. Work didn't send messages at 10:47 p.m. Work didn't need to be hidden. I nodded, sipped my coffee. The phone buzzed again. This time I caught the name reflected faintly in the glass. A man's name, one I'd heard before, one she'd mentioned casually, too casually. Something inside me went quiet. Not broken, not angry, alert. I finished my coffee, set the mug in the sink, kissed her cheek. She smelled the same, familiar, safe, a lie wrapped in routine. "Long day tomorrow?" I said. She nodded, too fast. That night, lying beside her, listening to her breathing even out, I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling and let the truth drip in, slowly, deliberately. I didn't cry. I didn't confront her. I just began to plan. The signs had always been there. I replayed them like security footage once you know a crime has happened. Late nights that didn't align with deadlines, phone calls taken in the car, passwords changed for security reasons. She had started dressing differently, not better, sharper, intentional, as if every outfit was being approved by someone whose opinion mattered more than mine. And then there was the distance. She laughed less with me, touched me like it was an obligation, slept facing the edge of the bed. Still, she played the role perfectly. Dinner on the table, questions about my day, a hand on my arm when friends were around. I wondered how long she'd been practicing the deception before I noticed the performance. Denial whispered to me in her voice, "You're tired, you're paranoid, don't ruin something good." But something else, colder, older, answered back, "If it's nothing, you'll find nothing." So I looked, not with accusations, with patience. I memorized patterns, her exits, her excuses, the way her eyes avoided mine when certain names came up. One night she came home smelling like a different soap, not perfume, soap, like she'd washed guilt off her skin. She climbed into bed and kissed me softly. "I love you," she said. I believed she believed it. That didn't make it true. I realized then the betrayal wasn't just physical, it was strategic, emotional. She was living 2 lives, and I was funding one of them with trust. Still, I said nothing. I watched, and the longer I watched, the clearer it became. She wasn't confused, she had chosen. I became invisible on purpose. I smiled, I agreed, I listened. While she slept, I memorized her phone habits. I never touched it. That would leave fingerprints, literal or emotional. Instead, I watched what she forgot to hide: the cloud notifications, the synced car screen, the billing cycles. Patterns tell stories if you're patient enough to read them. I requested phone records quietly, not to confront, to confirm. The numbers repeated, same area code, same times, same rhythm. I didn't feel pain anymore. Pain is loud. What I felt was focus. I started staying later at work, not to avoid her, but to build something that didn't include her. I took opportunities I'd postponed, traveled when I could, let her think I was distracted. She liked that. Guilt needs distance to survive. One evening she asked casually, "Do you ever feel like we're drifting?" I looked at her, really looked. Her eyes were searching for reassurance, not honesty. "Sometimes," I said. She relaxed. Relief washed over her face. That was the moment I understood. She wasn't afraid of losing me. She was afraid of being caught. I gathered what I needed: screenshots from synced devices, hotel receipts disguised as conferences, photos taken by friends of friends who didn't know they were documenting betrayal. I didn't rage, I didn't spiral, I archived. And when I finally knew everything, dates, names, intentions, I didn't confront her. I packed a bag. No note, no explanation. I kissed her forehead while she slept, and I walked away without a word. Years passed, quietly. I rebuilt my life somewhere she didn't exist. New city, new name in business circles, new routines that didn't include wondering who was lying beside me. Success came slowly, then all at once. I married again, not out of revenge, but clarity. My new wife didn't hide her phone, didn't flinch at questions, didn't confuse secrecy with privacy. And then, one afternoon, fate showed up uninvited. I was stepping out of a building I now partially owned when I saw her. She was thinner, sharper, older in the eyes, standing beside a man whose posture screamed insecurity. Our eyes met. The recognition hit her like a physical blow. She froze. I didn't. I walked past her, my hand resting comfortably at my wife's lower back, protective, certain. "Is that—" my wife began. "Yes," I said calmly. She found her voice, said my name like a confession. I turned, just enough. Her mouth opened, then closed. She searched my face for something: anger, longing, regret. She found none. "I wondered when I'd see you again," she said. "I didn't," I replied. The truth landed hard. She asked to talk. I agreed, not for her, for closure. We sat in a quiet cafe, neutral ground, no memories. She told me her version, the loneliness, the mistakes, the way she never thought I'd leave without fighting. "That hurt the most," she said softly. "You didn't even try." I looked at her then, really looked. "I did," I said. "I tried by paying attention." Her face crumpled. I told her what I knew, not angrily, precisely. Dates, places, lies she'd forgotten she told. She shook her head, tears forming. "You knew?" she whispered. "I knew enough," I said, and I respected myself enough to walk away. Silence stretched between us. She glanced at my wedding ring. "You look happy," she said. "I am," I replied. "That's the difference." I stood. She reached for my hand and stopped herself at the last second. I didn't pull away. I was already gone. Walking back to my life felt effortless. No weight, no anger, just understanding. Betrayal doesn't always end in explosions. Sometimes it ends in absence, in silence so complete it becomes its own kind of justice. I didn't win by ruining her. I won by refusing to be ruined. She stayed frozen in that cafe, trapped in the version of me she thought she'd broken. But I wasn't that man anymore. I never looked back, and for the first time, I didn't need to.